Hey, what's up? Making some iced coffee? There's this one TikTok of this lady going,
Tell me a sound that's better than this.
but then she goes, and I don't know, every time I see that TikTok, it just pisses me the F off. There's just something, I think maybe it's her face. It's like something about the vibe that's just like, and I go, well, this is not what this video is about. Okay, let's get to the video. Hello everyone and welcome to another video. So yeah, obviously this video is not about making iced tea. So yeah, this video is obviously not about making iced coffee, but it's about something completely different. Art. Unless you consider iced coffee art. Which it could be, I guess. And this is not a video full of facts and receipts and do this and do that and you should do it a certain way. This is just purely advice from an artist that is over the age of 30, because I would say this video is mostly aimed at younger artists, but if you're an older artist as well, this does apply, obviously. So what are we talking about here? Your old, really bad, squiggly, whatever else I'm gonna call it, art, and mine. So one thing that I've really come to appreciate and be thankful for as an elder millennial artist is that I have kept my old art from when I was younger. And I was also lucky enough that my mom did keep art from when I was even younger and couldn't make that decision myself. So why is that? Why would I want to save a bunch of 20-plus-year-old art that looks like absolute yikes? Well, plenty of reasons. And that is what I wanted to make this video. To encourage everyone to not throw away your art. This also applies to digital art. I remember when I was a young artist, and I think like most young artists, or even older artists as well, can relate to the feeling of looking at a piece of art and going like, ah man, this is not like how I wanted it to be, or well, I finished it, but or even a piece that you thought was good and then some time goes past and now you look at it and go, ooh, yeah, no. And back then, at least for me, the first instinct would be to throw that away. Crumple it up into a big ball of sadness and throw it away. And I did do that. Plenty of times. But as you could tell from the pile, there was also plenty of times where I didn't do that. I also had the habit of dating all of my drawings from back then. I guess that's not something that's very you don't maybe need to do that now, because digital stuff, but I mean, it's still good to do it, I guess. And that is honestly so valuable to me now, years later. Because something that could have been trash for me 20 years ago is now sort of my little treasure, my little stash of art history. Sandra's art history. And when I look back, it was really insignificant back then. I didn't really think that, oh, in 10 years I'm gonna love this. I just saved them, and now I can look back at so many years of creating art and see my own progress and what I learned and what I didn't learn. Because we have memories, we remember things, but we don't always remember correctly. And having these are just a way to remember your humble beginnings, and I promise you, you're gonna appreciate it when you get older. And even if you are 20 plus, 30 plus, 40 plus, wherever you are, save your art. You are gonna love yourself for it later. And you know what? You can also have a bit of a laugh about it. And it's also very interesting to see not only like your art journey, like how your art skills have evolved, but also what were you drawing when you were 14? Because it's not gonna be the same. I mean, sometimes it's the same. I still draw some of the same stuff, I guess. But the way you draw change, what you draw change, and how you draw as well. I mostly draw digitally now, while obviously I used to draw on paper. So yes, this is a video to urge you, fellow artists, to don't throw away your art. Please save it for your own sake. And now we get to look at funny arts from my archive. So this one is a special collection in my heart, because I had just started learning manga. I'm making a statement here. That's right, I like Pokemon. I'm the nerd. What are you gonna do about it? At least I had a good attitude about it, you know? Well, I'm still a nerd, and what are you gonna do about it? And it's also funny because I wrote down all the stuff I liked or loved. So here we have a bunch of Visual Kei and J-Rock bands. And in the back we have like anime manga stuff. And censored pictures, because, well, we're not gonna get into that. I've actually gone through this one at least twice in my short, so go check that out if you're interested. So this is from when I was around 15, 14. I had just started learning how to do manga, and the first ones are really funny. Got a fox lady. Obviously I've always been about Kakashi. I think I used to love Sasuke more when I was a teenager, but I always liked Kakashi, he was really cool. And you know, honestly, one of the best things about having old stuff like this is just seeing how free you were in your mind. Because I don't know if you can relate to this, but I feel like the older I've been getting, the more square my brain has become. And I need to like actively fight against the square brain thing to keep being creative, because I think we're all creative and stuff, but you know, going through art school and you know, I don't know, societal rules or norms, you become more and more square. And looking at old things like this, I don't know how do I come up, like how did I come up with this? You know, I mean, obviously it's like very Naruto inspired, at least this guy. My mind was so free back then, it's crazy. Now this little folder has some of the oldest, like the oldest things. There's some new stuff as well. Like these ones are drawn on like such thin paper, it's not even copy paper, it's just like throwaway paper, I don't even know. And then you find random stuff, like obviously this is not that old. And for me, I know that if the paper's pink, that it's really old. Yeah, this is probably one of my first, or maybe the first, manga style drawing I ever made. And I even dated it here. It says 20th of February 2004. So it's exactly 20 years old. It's not too shabby, I have to say. I think I copied this from like a manga, learn how to draw manga book thing. So obviously it's nothing I've come up with myself, and I didn't know the basics of manga like I know now. But it's honestly not that bad, I'm surprised. And sometimes it's just really nice to go through all of your old stuff. Because you can't always tell that you've improved. I think a lot of artists can relate to me on that one. And looking at old stuff, you can clearly see it's like a receipt, right? You got the receipt in hand. Look at you. You got better. And if you're feeling like you're down in a slump, or you feel like your art is ugly, or it's not up to your standard, you have something to look back on and go like, oh, well, I guess I have done something. There's been some type of change. Or maybe you go, oh wow, I've changed a lot. This is a period of my life when I was experimenting with geometrical weird stuff. Like really weird stuff. Here's me trying to tell myself that I shouldn't be squared. I shouldn't be scared to draw squares, and that they don't need to be perfect. And here we go, pre-manga days. I don't even know how old I was when I made this. Yeah, there's no date on these, but it's probably, it could be kindergarten, you know? It's probably like kindergarten or something. Man, some of these are really disturbing, honestly, like what in the demon is that? Oh, I remember making these. So I made these in a period of my artistic journey where I, as I talked about before, felt very like square and in a box and not creative at all. So what I had decided to do is that for a while I was not allowed to draw things. I wasn't allowed to go, oh, I'm gonna go draw a cat, or I'm gonna draw a house or anything. My goal was to put a pen on a paper and something would have to come out of it. And that's where you get this. And it might sound crazy, but it really works. Like, it really worked for me. Just like blanking your brain out, putting your pen on a paper, and go, now I'm drawing, and see what comes out of it. Like, you're not allowed to think too much. I do feel like it helped me loosen up a bit and not be stuck in my brain and feeling like something needs to look a certain way, because it doesn't. And I feel like online nowadays, there's a lot of videos about, oh, never do this when you draw, or don't do that, or always do that. And it's obviously not true, because it's art we're talking about here. And art is all about doing whatever you want. Have fun. As long as you're not, like, hurting other people, obviously. I remember this one. This one is pretty cool. No date on it. As I got older, I got really bad at dating stuff. Got watercolor. Got snails. I remember drawing this. I was in a really bad state, honestly. Like, this is a depressing time of my life when I drew this. And that's also sort of a thing, I guess. You can actually look back on that time in your life when you drew that, what you were feeling, what you were thinking, where you were in life, and then look at where you're now. And you know, it might just be because I'm older, but I just enjoy that. Everything might not always be the way you wanted it to be, but you're gonna be okay. Here's a couple more from that era. I just want to show them because I feel like it's important to show that part as well, and not just haha funny drawing. So these are from when I had to move back to Sweden from Japan, because I lived in Japan for 1.5 years and I really didn't want to leave, but my mental state wasn't great, and I really missed Japan, and I was really sad, and so I expressed myself through art. So these were probably made in 2015, 16. Markers and ink. Or maybe only markers, actually. And I might not look at these now and go, oh, it's a masterpiece, or anything like that, or like, oh, the technique was really good. But I look at them with a feeling of, yeah, I mean, it's my life. This video became a lot more existential than I thought it would be. But I guess it really does go together, because I live to make art, and a lot of artists do. Like, we might not make a living from doing art, but we live to make art. And it's such a big part of our lives, so that our feelings and our lives and everything and the art just melts together into this whole big thing. And that's even more reason to not throw these things away. Because they're not just old ugly drawings, they're so much more than that. So please don't throw them away. Thank you for watching.